Welcome, everyone, to another podcast. And I always say that. Welcome to another podcast. Obviously, it would be another podcast if you've never seen the previous ones. Just something to say.
Right.
Well, so today we have Josh Brill, who is actually Cloudblood music himself. It's the brainchild of this multi-instrumentalist and vocalist. He's been crafting a unique blend of heavy, catchy, and experimental sounds since its inception in January 2023. Check this out. With a 9-string guitar, pitch shifted bass, and outlandish synths, Cloudblood's music is a bold exploration of absurdist soundscapes paired with sharp, satirical commentary. From the anti capitalist anthem Task Manager, we know what that's like on the computer, don't we all? To the internet culture critique Terminally Online, and that's what I'm usually on, Terminally Online. Special edition, of course. And the genre-bending collaboration of God of Insanity, Cloudblood Music challenges norms and pushes boundaries. Their latest release, White Phosphorus, is a powerful statement against injustice, showcasing the project's commitment to both artistry and activism. Thank you so much, Josh, for being here, Cloudblood.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. We were chatting back and forth with email, and finally we got to this spot. So glad you were able to come up with a time for us to meet. So
I made the time, trust me.
that's awesome. So there's you got a latest release is White Phosphorus, and you were featured on the God of Insanity. So we're going to talk about that. Josh, I'd just like to ask you, what inspired you to create Cloudblood music, and how did it all begin?
Well, I've had like a few numerous music projects over the years that they never really got anywhere. Like back in like 2014, I made a Sega core, and I called it Death Egg Destroyer. I made like a 3-song demo that I put on SoundCloud, but I wasn't able to like really finish it or anything. And then like I kind of took a hiatus off music, and then like a few years later, I got like a Fender Telecaster. I used to have a 7-string guitar before that, and which then led to I basically made like alternative rock with like some pop involved. And I was going to be calling it a RPG type O, which is like a play on words of like arpeggi type O, with also a Pokemon reference. But I wrote a few songs. I just never really finished them, and I also never got them recorded. And then fast forward to like 2020, I was in New Jersey before this, and then I moved to California in 2019. And in 2020, when the pandemic started happening, I started like getting back into music again. But when I moved to California, I had to like drop home. I had to like leave my guitars in New Jersey, and then I found this like 7-string Jackson from a Guitar Center for like $200. I was like, all right, let me try doing the guitar thing again, because everyone started getting into guitar during the pandemic, and so I decided to get back into it, and then I just started like getting actually good when I wasn't before. And then around 2022, I played a Doom Eternal and stuff like that, and I found out that the soundtrack of that was written with a 9-string guitar, and I was like, all right. So I got a 9-string like November 2022, and then as I like tried to figure out what sound I even wanted to have, it pretty much morphed into Cloudblood, and the idea for Task Manager came together as well. So like I had like a 3-week vacation from work at the beginning of 2023, right at the beginning or at the new year. So I just banged out the song, and then it took me a while to like have the confidence to like release it with like, because like I didn't like the mix and stuff, but I eventually released it in April.
That's pretty cool. Did you have a relationship with your family, like your parents? Did they encourage you to get into music?
Not really. Like, well, when I first started playing bass when I was like 14, and like I had a friend that was like very into metal, and his dad played guitar and had all these Guitar World magazines lying around his house. and like I saw like most of those musicians played Ibanez instruments, so I'm just like, what if I got an Ibanez bass? For some reason, I wanted to play bass instead of guitar. Um, and then I found like this starter kit Ibanez bass, which included like an amp and stuff for like it was like 150 or something. It was under 200, and they didn't buy it for me. I was able to convince them to buy it for me, but like I did get some lessons and stuff. But like my stepmom would always be like, "Oh, you're not playing fast enough." When I was playing at the same pace as my teacher was, so I was very confused on what that was about. And we were playing things like Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's not a high tempo, you know. And like they were just on my case about it like all the time, and like I just eventually just stopped just to have them shut up, you know. But I mean, music's a bug, and like it's like when you catch it, it doesn't go away. So when I turned like 19 and like I was like out of my parents' house and stuff, I basically just bought a bass again and started relearning it.
That's interesting. You say that your first song you played on it was a Mary Had a Little Lamb. Many of the artists that I've talked to, some of them say it was smoke on the water, it was smoking, and nobody's ever said, "Oh, it was Thunderstruck." Nobody, for almost 300 episodes, nobody said it was Thunderstruck. But it's always smoking and smoke on the water, or the classic riff from Stairway to Heaven. It's like that's it.
Yeah, well, so like, yeah, that was what I learned from like my teacher. But like when I learned from Tab, I think the first thing was "Feel Good Inc." by Gorillaz, and then quickly after that, "Money" by Pink Floyd.
Oh wow!
Actually, oh wait, no. When I first got the bass, I actually looked up the tabs for Iron Man, but like I didn't really learn the entire thing. So I think the first song I learned in the entirety, at least with like all the parts, not really playing all the way through, was "Money."
You know, as I'm watching through Instagram and YouTube Shorts, there's a lot of guitar players, and some of them are pretty hot female bass players, which are amazing. One of them is Juliana Wilson, which you should check her out.
Oh, I think I follow her on Instagram actually.
And Lita Ford is another one. They're all great. You know,
yeah.
Even Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles is pretty good. But yeah, and but I always thought you would think of maybe you talking about playing that. You know that riff from Pink Floyd's "The Wall." You know, it goes do 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 do. That one. Yeah, that would have been an interesting one to learn. I'm actually going to be taking bass guitar lessons pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
So I'd like to ask you, okay, so about the guitar. So can you tell, like I've asked other musicians, I'm like, how can you tell? You have to have an ear that if you had 10 people in a room playing the same riff, one is on a Stratocaster, one's on a Sadowski, one is on a Gibson, one is on, and they just play this one riff. Could you tell with your eyes closed which one has the Gibson, which one has the Taylor, etc.?
So I'm not sure. I would have to test that because I definitely know the difference between humbucker sounds and single coils and acoustic and electric and guitar and bass. But I mean, as far as like a specific guitar model, I'm not sure.
It's very interesting. Like, how did you develop your signature sound using a 9-string guitar and pitch shifted bass? That's interesting.
Well, the pitch shifted bass is just because I don't have the money for a bass that can actually handle the tuning to be able to octave lower than a 9-string. So that's the only reason why that's pitch shifted. I mean, as far as like how did I develop my sound on the 9-string? Well, I noticed with like people who played like 8-string guitars, they kind of just played like bass lines on guitar, just with like palm mutes and stuff like that. And so I kind of just focused on like creating like melodic bass lines, but like using a guitar and also using like chugs and stuff like that. And like, to be honest, most of what I write, it just like comes to me as like a vision when I'm not even like doing music. sometimes I have to like work out, and then when I pick up an instrument, I'll have to like work out like what it is. But since I know enough music theory to be able to figure that out most of the time, or it just won't be exactly the same, but it'll actually be a little more original sounding than what I originally was having in my head anyway. Um, and other than that, um, yeah, I was just trying to. Well, my main influence was prog metal, so I was looking to like have like heavy riffs, but also being able to like switch any genre whenever I want. So
Yeah, that's very interesting. I asked a lot of artists, band members, whoever, their songs come from a deep, long loneliness, sorrow. Like, for instance, Dan Reynolds, lead singer of Imagine Dragons, always reiterate this. He wrote the song Wrecked because his brother's wife, his sister in law, Alicia, died of cancer. So he wrote that song, how he's feeling inside. I'm wrecked, you know?
yeah.
And I'm thinking that when I'm looking at Task Manager, I know that it's probably a little silly little experience you had in your life to write that. Can you tell me what's the story behind that one?
Oh yeah. So um, I guess I'm allowed to say it now because I don't work there. So um, I got a job at Intel um, as a engineering technician. So basically, they would run tests on DDR5 RAM before it was available to the public um, for this server platform. I think it was called like Sapphire Rapids or something like that. It should already be out by now, so I'm not breaking any NDAs. I don't even remember signing an NDA, but anyway. So um, basically, I was like the on-site guy for all the developers and software engineers that were like working from home. Uh, and so I would basically have to like do all their like manual labor, like replacing RAM DIMMs or like plugging stuff in and unplugging it and stuff like that. But then like one of the already on-site guys had to like work from home so often to like watch their kid. So I was doing his manual labor too. So it basically became I was doing three people's jobs, and like I was just getting really overworked. And I quit 2 months later. I found like a slightly better one, which is where I'm still at right now. But and then and like what it just reminded me of was just someone in your head going, task, do the task, just do the fucking task. And then I just somehow turned it into like a little catchy thing, and then yeah.
Did you ever did you ever take your guitar into work and just play during your break or lunch break or whatever, or you weren't
No.
allowed to do that? Oh.
I don't know if I was allowed to, but it was a little like too cumbersome to
Mm.
try. Because like I don't really have a travel guitar or anything like that, and well, like I don't really have money for a new one, so I'm not really kind of trying to risk breaking it or anything. So
Yeah. Uh, that's interesting. So do you think your music has evolved since the debut single Task Manager?
considering the track I'm like almost done with, yeah. Yeah, my newest track, I'm mixing metalcore and synthwave. I guess it's like some type of synthwave or EDM thing. I'm not really sure, but my girlfriend listened to it and she says it sounds like Carpenter Brew, which is, as far as I know, synthwave.
Wow, that's interesting. So what's the story behind White Phosphorus? That was only a few months ago, actually.
Yeah,
I
in
believe.
November. So with White Phosphorus, like after like the October 7th attack,
Mm.
in Israel, um, they basically like just restarted the thing that they've been doing since 1948. Like let's be real, of just genociding Palestinians, and the people that were like saying, "Oh, this is genocide," like not only like Biden but also the mainstream media saying, "No, that's anti-Semitism." And I am just like, no, I can see that's genocide from my own eyes, and I'm a Jew. That is not what anti-Semitism is. Like, are you serious right now? And it just and like each like bombing of a hospital or like a UN building, like I would see would just like like it would just piss me. It just pissed me off, and then I eventually just started writing a song about it.
So the creative process for Terminally Online Special Edition, is that the same with your previous job or new job or something totally different?
Um, it was just what I would observe on like social media. And the special edition that's just like the release because it has a remaster of Task Manager on it. So the song itself is just Terminally Online. But yeah, like that one took like a little while to write because like right after I got Task Manager done, I just had the first two lyrics in my head of every day I grow more and more tired of humans, and and then I would just like remember my past experiences with social media and just extremely toxic people in general, and I would just like, and after a while, like my girlfriend started to get got some success on YouTube, and then started like a Discord server, and a lot of her fan base are Gen Z, Zoomers, whatever, and they would like joke around about like Skibidi Toilet and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I'm gonna throw that in the song. I don't care because I thought it was funny because the song's meant to be funny, but people are just like, oh, it's cringe, it's cringe. I'm like, yeah, that's the joke. I'm being cringe online. That's why I'm singing like that. And yeah, and then it was basically I just decided to like throw in like 3 or 4 different critiques of 3 or 4 different things in the same song. And I also decided to write it. And also I was just like, I'm going to write a song in Locrian because no one ever does that.
Yeah, I've actually I like 2 artists who are Jewish, and they sing a lot of great Israeli songs. And one of them I think is Josh Aaron, and another one is a female by the name of Havim or something. But yeah, she's good too. So, what artists, Josh, or genres have influenced the experimental nature of your sound?
Well, my main influence guitar in general is Steve Vai, which means I'm a fan of Frank Zappa as well. And like people say Task Manager reminds them of Frank Zappa, and I wasn't even like trying to go for that, but like
You look like you could be the son of Frank Zappa.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
But the names that he gives his children, like Dweezil and Moon Unit, who would we call you? Call you 9-string or something like that. 9-string Zappa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of people would like say when I showed them Task Manager for the first time, they're like, "Yo, you're like the metal Frank Zappa," and I'm just like, "Don't tell me that. It's gonna get to my head." And yeah, so I sort of forgot whatever I was going with this. Oh yeah, my influences. I liked Leprous a lot. The Norwegian prog metal / rock band. I don't like their newest album, but like everything before that is just pure fire, amazing. And I also listened to Horse the Band a lot as a teenager, which is Nintendo core. So it's basically metalcore, but they use Nintendo like synth sounds. They were basically one of the first bands to make original music that was had like video game influence sounds with it.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen a gaming sounds greatest hits album. Like you can't buy a CD and listen to like Super Mario Brothers sounds and whatever, and just like we rocking. Hey, this is the Prince of Persia mix. No.
Yeah, some orchestras have albums like that, or like artists who just have covers. There are like video game cover bands, and most of the time, there's this festival called MagFest in January, and that happens every January in Baltimore, or like somewhere in Maryland. I forget, but I went there once. That's basically a whole festival of like video game cover bands, plus also other video game stuff involved. So,
yeah, it's a lady I think on Instagram, and she's a violinist, and she said, "I'll tell you where the cell phone tone came from." And then she starts playing. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's an actual classical piece." At the end, where it goes do 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 do.
Oh
That one.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and she plays it on the violin, and she tells you exactly. She plays the start of the song, and then she ends it with the tone that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Um, so I see you did a collaboration with Black Switch. Now you
It's
did
pronounced
God of
Blaskowitz, actually.
Blaskowitz. So
Yeah.
you did collaboration on a song called "God of Insanity." How did that come about, and what kind of music does he do, and how was he able to match with you?
Well, so I'm in this Discord server for this app called Session Studio. It's literally just like a collab app.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, now I know this girl, and she says she wants me to join that one because she wants to do duets together. How do I install that one? Where can I get the program?
Um, do you have an Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay. It should be in the App Store. Um,
There's an
uh,
app for it, really?
yeah, yeah. There's an app for it on your phone. I think there's a map app for Mac computers, but for Windows computers, you basically just have to use their website.
I'll
But
check it out.
there's also a Google Chrome web app for it as well, which is what I use on my
So
computer.
it's kind of interesting that you got a collaboration with Blaskowitz. So this is an interesting story.
Yeah. So when in that Discord, um, like I was in it for a few months already at that point. I've gotten like some almost collabs, but they never really like went anywhere. But it's a great app to just like put your own lyrics in. You can just upload stems or like demos, so you can like show people, so you don't have to like put it on Bandcamp or something else. Um, yeah, so you can basically, so you don't have to just straight up send the file either if you're worried about people stealing it. So and oh yeah, now I remember. So one day, this guy just like goes in the general chat of the Discord server, and he's like, "Yo, anyone want to collab?" And like all caps for like no reason. And so I just like I took the bait. I was like, do you have any links of your music? And he was like, "Oh, you want my link? What, are you gay?" And I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" Like he was just like one of those like really toxic trolls, I guess.
Yeah,
Where he's like,
I would have just left it right there. I couldn't even stand just the first like if I met a girl and she said one thing, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Bye.
yeah. I was just confused at what was going on, and then the Blazkowicz guy jumped in. He was just like, imagine getting mad because someone asked for links for your music about a collab, and I'm just like, yeah, right. And then this guy was just going like on and on and on, like I'm some like beta cuck or something, and then the mod like banned him eventually, and then made me a mod of the Discord too because he was in UK, so he was like sleeping at the time. So it was basic, and I basically showed that I just handled myself to trolls very well because, well, as evidence of the song "Terminally Online," just all the stuff I've witnessed on the internet over the years. And then the Bosquez guy asked me if I wanted to collab. I was like, yeah. I play metal guitar. I do vocals. I can write lyrics. And then we started like DMing and stuff. And then he showed me like an early version of God of Insanity. It was just an instrumental. And I'm just like, yo, this is sick. He was like, you want to collab on? I'm like, yeah. I'll add some guitar, some guitar riffs and leads. And then when I sent him like the riffs and leads and a solo, he like completely changed the arrangement and into what it is today. And then it was like, and then like I know it's all the songs are like instrumental beats basically, like chiptune style, but also like calls it horrorcore trap. To me, it kind of sounds like music from Cruelty Squad, which is a game. And I just thought like, you know what this guy's really missing? Vocals. If he had vocals, he'd blow up. At least I thought anyway, because like his stuff's really cool. So I was like, yo, like you want me to like add some lyrics and some vocals? And he was like, yeah. So and then about like a week later, I like got the lyrics. I got the lyrics done, and then I recorded the vocals. And then what he sent me back was like he like added a lot of distortion and reverb and delay to my vocals, and like when I was already like doing like a half scream to begin with, and it just sounded like, I mean, it just perfectly fit the vibe of the song to me, and so he just like released it like a month later, in August.
Wow. And you're still friends with this guy, Blaskowitz?
Yeah. We have another collab that's like almost done. It's just he was like telling me like I just need like if you can give me 8 more lines, the song's done. I'm like, all right, but I just haven't been able to think of them yet. And he's not in a rush to release it anyway, so hopefully I can send him something soon so we can get another song under our belts. But he's just been releasing his like own songs, like just getting them out anyway. So I don't think he's too worried about it.
Yeah. So, what message do you hope listeners take away from White Phosphorus? Like, what kind of message is there?
That genocide isn't okay, no matter who it's being done to, and saying the truth of a situation is not like some type of like prejudice of some kind. If you want me to just take like all the politics out of it, that's the best message I can really give. But I mean, the message at its core is just what the IDF's doing is a genocide. Netanyahu's a war criminal, and yeah.
So yeah. How do you balance the heavy and absurd elements in your music with the satirical themes? Like, where do you find humor out of White Phosphorus, if that's what it means?
Well, so that's just 100% serious song. Mm-hmm. But Task Manager and Terminally Online, those were satire. White Phosphorus is not satire in any form. But like, yeah, like I just haven't like updated my bio in a while, so I guess I need to like work on that a little bit. But and the next song I'm working on, it's like a half joke. It's like kind of serious, but presented in a funny way. Like most of the songs I write are memes, basically. So,
wow. So, what challenges have you faced, Josh, as an independent artist recording in unconventional spaces? Like, it looks like you're in an unconventional space right now.
Yeah. I basically recorded everything I've ever done in my apartment, like 2 different apartments and 2 different rooms. I recorded Task Manager and Terminally Online at my previous apartment and in my living room, and White Phosphorus I recorded in my living room, but now because I got a roommate, I moved my setup into my bedroom with my girlfriend, and I'm currently recording my newest track in here.
So I guess your girlfriend or your roommate have no interest in collaborating because they don't know music, or they just want to say, that's your thing, you do that.
I mean, like I've told my girlfriend to sing a little bit. I've like asked her if she wanted to like do some collabs, but she just I think that's just not what she's trying to pursue right now. But she also like has like a book almost ready to publish, so she's a writer. So
you should send me her link to her YouTube channel. I'd be interested in knowing what she does.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, she does like she plays games, but also like talks about like mental health stuff and like her mental illnesses and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
She actually just did a stream earlier today. So
yeah, I know another streamer. I'm trying to get her on the podcast, but her name is Maddie. So how do you see Cloudblood music evolving in the future? Like, where do you see it 5 years from now? Do you see yourself with a band? Do you see yourself with more than one album? What?
Yeah, you could say I'm still technically working on my first album, or EP, whatever. I'm not sure. Well, I guess it depends on how many songs it's going to be, if it's like an EP or an album. But as far as the album I put out after that, I think it's going to be like a concept album of some kind. I haven't really worked out the details. I I basically just want the entire album to like tell a story. Because another one of my favorite bands, Between the Buried and Me, that's basically what they do with their albums. And so I do see myself having a band if I get some type of like success to where I have like I'm in demand to play shows and they're paid shows. Because like right now I can't really pay bandmates, but I like most of my first few shows is probably just going to be me and my laptop. I know that much.
So I know I think you said you're in the States, right?
Yeah, I live in California right now.
Okay, so that's right, PDT. Yeah. So when you're when you play in a venue or something, how do they pay you? They don't use Venmo or PayPal. They just give you cash or what?
So I only played one show, and it was kind of like doing my friend. It was like doing my like it was like I was doing my friend a favor, and they were doing me a favor. So I basically opened for a bunch of rappers the day before 420. I wasn't even on the bill. It wasn't really a paid show or anything, but I was only playing 2 songs. It was just like he wanted me to like play there just to like troll everyone there, because everyone was like hi anyway. They're just like, whoa, what is this? So I am not sure how that works.
Wow. So how do you approach songwriting when tackling such diverse and bold themes?
So, depending on the song, I either have a riff first or lyrics and a hook first, or like a rough idea on how I would like be singing it or whatever. I don't really have the same songwriting process for each song. It really depends. But once I get something going, though, like with Survey Online and Task Manager, I basically had everything worked out before I started recording it. With and then with like White Phosphorus, I had like the intro together, and then I like got the lyrics written, and then I kind of had to like work out like the rest of it. And I basically just put scratch tracks together and then re-recorded it when I like got new strings when I was ready to record it. And that is the current case also with my with the track I'm working on right now. I just need to figure out like a solo, and then re-record the guitars and bass. There's a lot of like MIDI synths in that song.
So, Mr. Brill, what do you think of AI in music?
Oh, I hate it.
Like Suno and Udio. And so why do you hate it?
Well, it's just straight up copyright infringement. Like AI art just steals from artists.
Are you sure about this? Depending what prompt you use, you could use a prompt which revolutionizes your music. The reason I ask you is because now and then the final Beatles song, according to George Harrison and George Harrison, according to Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney, the last Beatles song is called. Let's drop that one. So yeah, well, the only reason I ask is because this last Beatles song that Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr worked on, they used AI to extract John Lennon's vocals from the piano and did something with George Harrison's guitar, and they call it Now and Then. That's the last Beatles song. So it can be used for good.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't really have an issue with like AI like voice swaps. I really just have an issue if you basically just type in a prompt in like Suno or Udio, and then that's the song, and then you're trying to pass it off as a song you made.
So it actually does steal from other songs?
So it that's the thing. Like AI isn't. It's not conscious. It's not thinking. It can only like make something based on like what it's been trained on. And yeah, humans do work like that too. They have their own influences. But the thing is that if a human completely rips off a different song, they're going to get sued.
then
which is why artists are suing AI companies.
that's wrong. You know why? Because "Levitating" by Dua Lipa, that's the same song as 5 or 6 other artists. And also, you can't really copyright a chord progression because there are many songs that sound like somebody else's. You can't have Adele sue Lauren Daigle because she sounds like her. I mean, like, I don't know, like, you can literally use AI to create beautiful music, and if you use the right prompts, it will revolutionize your songwriting, and that's what I heard. But well, everyone has. Okay, so you don't use it, but would you use it
Yeah.
for maybe a guitar riff because you can't find anyone? Somebody can't do this guitar riff, and the only one that can do is an AI generation.
So, like, I guess if it would come to that, maybe, but I just don't see that I just don't see that, like, really happening. I mean, the only thing I can't do on guitar is arpeggio sweeps, so...
You ever heard of Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Voyager?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you know it's the theme to Star Trek Voyager? They play the Star Trek Next Generation theme backwards. So,
I didn't know that. That was interesting.
Yeah, what if you take Thunderstruck and you play that backwards? Could they sue you?
Do you mean just like the lead riff, or like the entire
riff.
song?
Like,
okay.
Use the lead riff, play backwards, and then put your own songs to it.
So, like, I think it depends on if they can, like, notice it that. So, like, I know with, like, the Imperial March, the Star Wars track, that was like that was actually a ripoff of a song about Jupiter, I think, from some other composer. I don't remember, but the composer sued and won. So, and yeah, I know with, like, Dua Lipa, a lot of her songs use that interpolation, which is just taking a melody and having someone else play it and not actually just sampling it. But I know that they actually credit. But I know she credits the artist that she interpolates from. I don't know if that's, like, after the fact it comes out, or they just get the licensing beforehand. So, yeah, I guess the issue with AI is that, like, there's no, like, definitive way of, like, making sure the artist, like, either authorizes the licensing or gets, like, paid to gets paid to generate something like it. But I mean, as far as me using it, I mean, I've just listened to the stuff it put out. Like, I mean, I could write it myself. So,
so what role does activism play in your creative process and overall identity as an artist? Like, tell me more about that.
Well, my songs. So, Task Manager is technically a critique of capitalism, even when it's presented as a joke. But that's where the satire part comes in, because it's about being overworked at a job. And Terminally Online. I mean, I'm basically, like, having, like, snippets of, like, political discourse I've had on the social media. Like there's people that have tried to tell me, oh no, you should, like, the people need to band together to go against the 1%. I'm just like, yeah, but, like, I'm not siding with a Nazi. I don't care. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of music is inherently political, even if it's, like, subtle about it. I think I'm less subtle about it but like, unless I'm, like, super in your face, some people don't think it's, like, political. Like when I played Task Manager at that show, people were like, yo, that song sounds like ADHD. I'm like, I guess, but it's really about like being overworked at a job. But yeah, like a lot, and one time I had that song play at a review show, like a podcast type thing, and he was saying, "Yo, like this like speaks to my ADHD," and I'm just like, I mean, all right, but it is about being overworked at a job.
I'm gonna be honest with you, my friend. Jump by Van Halen sounds like tinnitus to me.
Hmm.
And I avoid it. So I don't like the song. I'm sorry to say that. And oh no, Van Halen fans will write me, and I'm subscribing from you.
Ah,
I don't like the song. I never liked Van Halen. You know, God bless Eddie Van Halen, of course. But I just didn't like the song "Jump." Every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh, I gotta go bathroom. I gotta. Really, there's
nah.
some songs that there are some just songs and music that sounds like tinnitus to me. And but how do you feel about love songs? Have you ever written a song for your love, or have you ever? Do you like love songs, or do you rather just avoid those type?
I normally just don't have the idea for love songs. Like it's just not what I think about most of the time. Um, my girlfriend did ask me to make her a song, and I'm pretty close to done with it. Actually, it's just like sort of on like the back burner as far as like getting it released, I guess. Um, because there's a lot of stuff I like need to re-record with it. Like I like listened to back on it like a few weeks ago, and I'm just like, oh yeah, a lot of stuff sounds off here. I'm gonna I don't think it's a good idea to release it right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do you have to get into a certain mindset? How do you deal with your mental health? Like, is it before or after a song? Or do you just do it every day? Do you like meditate or whatever?
most of the time to get me to want to play music or like do music, like either practice guitar or like work on like production or something or songwriting. I mean, it's mostly just smoking weed. I just gotta get high, and then I'm good.
Okay. Do you do anything outside of music?
Um, like as like a dream, not really. I am a gamer. I was a gamer before I was a musician. I don't play games that much anymore, but like I'm a very avid fighting game fan.
That's cool. So, can you share any memorable reactions or feedback you've received from fans? Like, what did they think of White Phosphorus or Terminally Online?
Well, so the most memorable reactions was from like, well, hater comments because the like when I posted the video for the solo for White Phosphorus, someone had the audacity to leave a comment saying, "Learn scales and use metronome." Um, but as far as like other artists are listening to my music, like I've gotten like all over the place. Like some people say my stuff sounds like Deftones. Some say it sounds like deathcore. Even grindcore. Sometimes, yeah, like I said, it's like Frank Zappa. Um, so like, but my brain will just make whatever it wants. So
How does your own Jewish faith, if you have one in Judaism, or like, how does that affect your songwriting, or is it you keep it separate? Like Joshua Aaron, like he's Jewish, and the same getting it Hassam Ali or something, and they both sing for God. But how does it? How does your faith, whatever faith you have, I guess it's in God, affect your songwriting, or do you try to keep them secret?
so
Separate.
I stopped being religious after I had my bar mitzvah. So like yeah, like I got my bar mitzvah. I had my bar mitzvah. I recited prayer. I recited prayers and from the Torah in Hebrew. They don't really teach you like what the stuff means. They just teach you like, oh, so when you see this symbol, you make this sound. Um, but
It's
like
a lot more than it's a lot more than that, Josh.
well, what do you mean?
Well, because I'm also of that faith, and I like to learn Hebrew so I can read the Hebrew version of the Bible because Jesus taught Torah and how to
Right,
love, and most of the English translations of the Bible are mostly some of them are wrong.
right. Oh, well, I just meant that's what I got taught in Hebrew school before my bar mitzvah. Like, we didn't get really told how to read Hebrew. We got told how to recite and pronounce Hebrew. That's more what I meant.
Yeah. I was just talking to a soprano by the name of Christina Johnson, and she was talking about how when she sang in Hebrew and Arabic, she said she was one time when she had a week to learn Hebrew. I'm like, a week to learn Hebrew? Oh my goodness!
That's hard.
I can't even sing Nesun Dorma well in a couple of years, and you learn Hebrew in 1 week. So it's kind of amazing.
Must be a polyglot or something.
No idea. But yeah, what other kind of feedback did you get from your songs? Did you have anybody just rightly, instead of saying, "Oh, that's wrong," did anybody say, "Oh my goodness, White Phosphorus, wow," or "That terminally online, so that's amazing"? That's going through my head while I'm doing my stuff at work, my tech stuff at work, you know.
So, like I'm in this Discord server for this internet radio station, OTAT 24/7, or indiemusicfans.com. And they would basically have these like premiere shows. So like when they would like get when you would like send them a track, they'll say they're gonna like first play it like on like this Thursday of the month, and and so like everyone who would be tuning in would make comments in the Discord about the music, and everyone's and like pretty much they basically liked all my songs. They're just like, "Yo, this song's fire." With White Phosphorus, one guy in particular said he really liked my vocals because like it like really solidified the like anger of the song it's supposed to express and stuff like that. When I was actually kind of self-conscious about them because I thought my screams didn't sound that good. But I've been working on it anyway. Yeah, that's also where like they play Task Manager and they're just like, "This sounds like Frank Zappa meets grindcore." So
that's funny. So if someone walked up to you during your shows or after your shows and they said, "Cloudblood, whoa, that was great. I want to do what you do. I want to create a unique sound." What advice would you give to this aspiring Cloudblood musician?
So if you have a preferred genre, don't listen to just that genre. And if you like, if there's a specific instrument you like, try to look for a jazz musician that plays that instrument, and basically just like listen to just keep listening to like that stuff, and like and just have your mind blown by like the crazy improvisation they can do. Like when I was learning guitar, I heard the name Alan Holdsworth a lot, so I decided to check him out, and I'm just like, well, okay. Like it kind of just blew my mind, even like blew my mind just as much as when I first listened to Steve Vai. So, like don't be afraid to just like try whatever you want. Like if there's like if there's like 2 or 3 genres that you don't really hear mixed that often, or you don't know about at all, just try to see how you can make that yourself. And I mean, learning music theory is also very important. Some people don't need to learn music theory, but they're still using it. They just they just already know what works without knowing the names of it. So
yeah. So what do you currently listen to now? Like what's playing on your Spotify or in your CD player, whatever, that is non-Cloudblood music? Like
so I don't really have as long of a commute anymore to work, and that's most of the times where I would have like a chance to like just listen to music myself. So I'm not listening to a whole lot of different music right now. Like the indie music community on Facebook, if they have like a new track, I'll check it out. If there's like a new popular song in like metal, I'll like check it out. I tend to not like it, but I at least try to check it out. Um, and then when like a new pop star that just like blows up, everyone's talking about him. Like a few months into me hearing like the nonstop chatter about them, I'll check out a song. Again, I won't really like it, but um, like I try to listen to new things. It's just yeah, like I haven't really found anything I really liked in a while. But as far as like the indie community goes, they put out some interesting stuff actually. But as far as like an individual artist, I can't really stay at the moment because I'm not really fixated on any one artist at this point.
At least you listen to music. I know someone who doesn't listen to music at all. I'm like, what? He
Yeah,
doesn't
how do you
listen to
make it
music,
then?
but he plays music. He plays the
Right.
guitar at a coffee shop, but he won't listen to it. This is kind of interesting. Um, yeah. So thank you, Josh. Thank you, Cloudblood Music. Um, Everyone, Cloudblood Music isn't just a musical project. It's an immersive journey through the unconventional, a daring critique of societal norms, and a testament to the boundless creativity of its founder, Josh Brill. So I know, Josh, that with every release, you push the envelope. You
Yes.
inspire listeners to think deeper, feel stronger, and question louder. Whether it's through searing satire, genre-defying collaborations, or raw, unapologetic activism, Cloudblood Music is here to leave an indelible mark in the world of sound and thought. So everyone, stay tuned. This is only the beginning of the groundbreaking odyssey. Thank you so much for Cloudblood for being on the podcast. Really appreciate it. Look
Yeah.
forward
I
to
mean,
hearing some more. Yeah, I actually look forward to hearing some more sort of office hits, like things that sound like the office, like Terminally Online or Task Manager. How about one called Windows Vista or Windows Sucks or something?
yeah. Well, sudo apt get install for the Linux people out there.
So you're saying that Studio Session, there's an actual, because she wants me to install Studio Session. I didn't realize there was an app, because if I could install an app and use that, her and I could go back to doing collaborations again.
Yeah. So how it works is you download the app, you make an account, and you can either like start a song, or you can have someone invite you to their song, and and you can do it the other way around if you start the song yourself, and and then when you like record a stem or something, you can upload it into the app, and then they can pull it down and put it into their DAW and then finish the song. And then they can upload like either like a rough demo or something, and then you can like make a share link and then show it to people.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Josh, so much for being on our podcast. Okay, everyone, we're going to end the stream wait
Yeah,
right there, Josh. Thank you so much for the interview. Okay, everyone.
thank you very much.
Thanks for